Hello, this is Michael Feltman. Welcome to 3-Minute Insights. This is episode 4. We're talking about cures, immigration cures, ways that violations can be cured. This is the third question in the inquiry when you're looking at doing the immigration process. The first one is immigration benefits. What are all the benefits you're trying to get? Second is what violations might apply. And third, what are there cures for the violations? And what we'll look at is I've grouped them into 3 different categories of different types of cures. Immigration law is really complex, so I'll try to compartmentalize everything. The first one is waivers. Waivers come in all shapes and sizes, different requirements for different types of violations. Even if there's 2 people that come into my office and they may have the exact same type of violation, they may have 2 different types of waivers we may want to apply in their situation. No case is exactly alike. It's just the tip of the iceberg, but I want to give you an overall view of just what cures they may be. Secondly, after cures, or after waivers, we're talking about there may be exceptions in a law. In law school we talk about you don't just need to know the general rule. You won't pass law school that way. You got to know the exceptions to those general rules and also the exceptions to those exceptions. Kind of the same way with immigration law. There's a whole lot of exceptions out there, and sometimes there's exceptions to the exceptions. So you need to be able to know what they are. A perfect one is when somebody gets a criminal violation involving something maybe called a crime of moral turpitude. Say, for example, shoplifting or a theft. Well, generally that's a crime of moral turpitude. Stealing is. However, you may qualify for something, or maybe your client would qualify for something called the petty offense exception under 212 of the Act. Third category is other fixes, is what I categorize it as. And what this basically is maybe a cure doesn't fall into the situation of a waiver, maybe it doesn't fall into an exception in the law, but you may have some other route. One thing that we see commonly is what we call post-conviction relief, which is looking at a criminal conviction that's sometimes a permanent lifetime bar, but if you can go back and reopen that criminal case, you may be able to change even just a matter of a day of a penalty, and it can open up a world of opportunities for another one that we see sometimes is a federal pardon. It doesn't work for everybody, and it's kind of like an expungement in state situations, but federal pardons only work in certain situations, but it may work in your situation or your client's situation. So we'll talk about that in the future as well. Another variation of another fix is an unconventional way that you would normal process. Say spouses of U.S. citizens wanted to file to get their permanent residency. Maybe they got a permanent bar, but maybe that person may qualify for a victim visa, for example. That's one example. Lots of different ways to cure a violation. It's just a general overview and letting you know that even though you may look through those roughly 50 different types of violations, there's a lot of cures out there as well. Thanks for listening. I'm Michael Feltman.